Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Good.
So today we are talking about the Partagas Ramon y Ramon Robusto. Cigar is 5.5 inches by 50 ring gauge. Comes out of the General Cigar Dominicana factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper is Bolita Cameroon. Binders from the Dominican Republic. The filler is Dominican PM01, and then also from Nicaragua. Um, No blenders disclosed on the cigar. Price point is $7.49. And the cigar was released in October of 2016. So with all the details out of the way, June, what was your pre-light experience like?
Pre-light experience was good. Thought the wrapper had somewhere between like a Claro and Colorado Claro shade. Things roughly pressed, seams tight, but it was visible. Bunch of roll felt pretty spot on. I had a uniform give throughout, no soft spots. The head was surprisingly very shallow, so made me think that I'd really watch out when I cut the cigar.
Mm.
On the pre-light nosing experience, wrapper I got some cedar, black pepper, some construction paper. The foot I got wet earth, black pepper, and some stale mixed nuts. Cold draw, dry wood, cardboard, and a little bit of a ripe stone fruit going on.
Yeah, wrapper was like a medium and dark brown, kind of like in a bit of like a turtle shell type design. It was definitely darker towards the foot on my sample. A couple of medium-sized veins. The seams were pretty well hidden, kind of with the color variations, so they were hard to see. Um, like you said, two caps on it. They were very well applied. Band's primarily gold and white. Has a little bit of a cream color kind of in the middle where the brand name was. The aroma from the wrapper was like a nice mix of leather and hay, and the foot aroma was like a little bit of had a little bit of a cherry sweetness to it. And then the prelate draw, it was kind of a muted version of that cherry note, and it definitely wasn't as sweet as the aroma from the foot. So flavor-wise, what was your experience like through the cigar?
In general, I felt like immediately I noticed quite a bit of dryness in this cigar. Specifically, I got like dry, bitter, smoky wood, sharp black pepper, and dried minerals, and that made up kind of like the core flavors of the cigar. And with less notable flavors of milk chocolate and leather. When I was retrohaling, I got strong black pepper, cream mixed nuts, and sharp cedar. The finish was lengthy, and it had a lot of lingering dry and bitter wood that paired with that sharp black pepper, and that really hit my front palate. And then I got some mixed nuts coming through as well. Strength, body, medium in terms of just the first and second third, actually. So moving on to the second third, the main difference that I got was that black pepper started tapering down. The core flavors is still that dry, bitter, smoky wood and dry minerality going on. That secondary notes of milk chocolate and leather still had that. Still the same retro, sharp black pepper, cream mixed nuts, and sharp cedar. Finished flavors, dry bitter wood paired with that sharp black pepper and mixed nuts. But instead of kind of hitting that front palate, it overtook my entire palate in the second third. Moving on to the last third. The last third was it felt less drying, and it was mainly an interplay of cream and dry wood going on. The leather also moved to that forefront, but the remaining flavors that I got off of the first two thirds, it was incredibly muted and really distant. Retro, still the same. I was able to get that strong black pepper, cream mixed nuts, and sharp cedar. Finish, it also became more muted, and I mainly got a faint black pepper and cream dry wood. Strength, surprisingly, moved to medium full,
Mm.
and body was just staying at the medium marks. But overall, it was a very, like I was saying within the first third, a very dry delivery.
Yeah. For me, the initial draws brought a good dose of like creamy cedar and black pepper. And then at a quarter inch in, the kind of the black pepper kind of lessened a bit, and that creamy cedar kind of kept its level. Retrohale, it was still that really full creamy cedar and that black pepper gave quite a burn through my nostrils. Half inch in, black pepper really moved to the background in the mouth and on the retrohale, and the creamy cedar stayed up front in both. And then an inch in, the cream subsided a bit, and the cedar kind of became the dominant note. And then as the third was coming to a close, the cedar was really the only note in the mouth and on the retrohale, and the strength was right at medium. And then getting into the second third, that cedar was continuing and it became a bit drying. And then at a quarter inch in, a little bit of earthiness joined in, kind of darkened up the profile a little bit. And then at a half inch in, a little bit of creaminess reappeared, and that kind of pushed the earthiness out of the profile. And the retrohale was really just a cedar note. And then at an inch in, the cream faded away, and that cedar became a bit drying again. And that's kind of how the third finished out, with that drying cedar, and strength stayed at medium. And then getting the final third, still dry cedar. There was a little bit of mintiness on the finish. And then at a half inch in, some cream came back, and the cigar started to warm up a little bit. And then at an inch in, some bitterness joined in the profile and pushed the cream out. And then at an inch and a quarter, the bitterness, moved out. The minty finish left, and kind of that drying cedar was what was remaining there. And that's pretty much how the cigar finished out. And the strength did bump up for me as well in that final third to just slightly above medium. So performance-wise for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
Performance on construction in general was fantastic. Perfect scores on burn, perfect scores on draw. In terms of the burn, smoked the cigar in about an hour and 15 minutes, pretty good. Razor sharp burn the whole time. Ashes sound on sturdy, averaging inch and a half increments. The draw, I performed a straight cut, kind of at that second cap, and that yielded just perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the burn was a little bit wavy for me, but it always kept up with itself. It didn't need any attention. And ashes were holding on for about 1 inch increments for me. The draw was perfect for the first 2/3, and then it kind of just tightened up a little bit in the final third, but not nothing big. It just was noticeable to me after going through 2/3 of the cigar, with what do I prefer. So not a big deal there. So overall, what are your thoughts on the cigar?
I thought this was a more of that stereotypical out of general, right? This is a general cigar,
Right.
like a no frills, no thrills kind of an average cigar for me. I thought the majority of cigars was a little too dry on my palate, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I came into the cigar like I come into every cigar well hydrated. Even so, I had to take a lot of gulps of water on this because every mouth draw was so dry that it made me feel like I was thirsty, but really it was just a really dry smoke.
Right.
But I also felt like there was enough of a bouquet of other flavors that allow me to pay attention to the entire cigar without putting it down. But overall, just average cigar for me.
Yeah, the flavor profile was really linear the entire way. I mean, for me, it was cedar most of the time. The beginning had a little bit of black pepper to it that kind of added a little complexity, but that faded away pretty quickly. And the dryness, like you mentioned, it didn't help the cigar. But I mean, it wasn't horrible. I didn't think it was as drying as you did. I mean, I always drink water with my cigars anyway when I'm doing reviews, but it was just noticeable that it was dry, but it wasn't overly dry for me. I like the concept of the cigar in regards to them using like vintage seeds for that PM01 tobacco that's used in the filter. But in the end, it didn't create a great cigar. So it is what it is. It's got a nice story behind it, but that not much else to it. I think if you're a fan of Cameroon, it's probably worth trying just to try another Cameroon and see if it's something that you like. But I've smoked a couple of these. I'm not sure that I'm gonna necessarily revisit it. It wasn't anything special to me really. So getting the scores, I give it a 5.33. You gave it a 6 even. How do you think your score matched up with the experience?
It matched up well. I mean, if I didn't have such a perfect burn and draw, my score would have probably hit pretty close to what you would have given. But average smoking experience compounded by perfect construction. 6 mix is spot on.
Yeah, mine's identical. I mean, pretty average cigar. Just kind of bumped up a little bit by the performance that it had. Nothing. I'm not sure there's much else to say other than that. I just say it's a pretty average cigar. So there's lots of cigars that would match up with this. So it's not gonna jump up on my list at all to bump out some other Cameroons or anything like that. So any other final thoughts on the cigar from you?
No, I mean this is well, Yes. This is so many of Journal cigars hit this profile for me,
Hmm.
except for probably that CAO Consigliere and Tarano's. What is it? The Jack Tarano one that we had.
Exodus.
Exodus, right?
Yeah.
I hope they deliver more in that fashion. But another year in 2016 worth of releases just proves that it's still kind of the average regular Joe kind of stuff.
Yep, I agree with that. Well, thank you for watching. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow some of the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+, and check out our podcasts. We have all of our review recaps available there as well. So iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, download it, listen to it. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.